Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rob. Hope you all having a fantastic day. If you would go ahead in the chat box, type in the number 1, and let me know that you can hear me. I would truly, and I do mean truly, appreciate it. There is nothing worse than talking to yourself for about an hour before you realize that no one is there. All right. Very cool. Afternoon, Kevin. Good afternoon, Brenda. Hope you guys are both having great days. All right, there we go. Cooking with gas. You just can't do all this stuff in advance. You got to wait until you open things up. So perfect. All right, good. Bueno. All right, there we go. Got my mouse back. Excellent. Excellent. Hey, Boz, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Boz says, yes, absolutely, everyone. It's this is besides Pop, this will be my last appearance this week anywhere is here. So I'm excited for the holiday. I am. It's going to be a much smaller occasion for us this year, but we're still excited about having it. So let's go and take a look at what's going on. So December 2nd, we've got Patterns in a Flash. For those of you that are in Tony's Patterns in a Flash class training, he does a live training once a month. December 2nd is his December one. December 9th, we've got Trading You. The Inner Circle is coming up on the 11th and 12th. That's a Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The last Monster Market Movers of the year is December 17th. And then we've got Power Hour coming up each and every Monday, of course. And then Key to Be Free. Make sure you are registered for those trainings. One of them. You don't need to register for both. Same training. Excuse me. But it is literally the key to getting you free in 2021 is what's inside of there. I've seen it for the last 2 years in action, used it, shown it, taught it. Now it's time to share it with the masses. So go ahead and check that out. This week, and that's because of holiday on Thursday. As you're trying to figure out what to do as far as trading and so forth, you got a half a day coming up. All right. So let me go ahead and start the video here. There we go. That thing popped up. All right, let's move that out of our way. All right, here's the follow us page. If you are not, and I know many of you are, please go ahead and follow along with us on social media. We've got a new person for social media I'm interviewing hopefully tomorrow for some things that we're looking to do, web design and such. We'll see an even much greater amount of social media coming out with this new person joining our team. So once again, exciting for that. So make sure you follow along with the various things that we do. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening out here right now, market-wise. Let's see. All right. So S&P 500, let's go to the SPX. No S needed on this one, Rob. Different program. All right. So we had a great pop right out of the box this morning on the SP 500. Nice run up, right? And then we've had some pullback ever since, right? Where it's given us back a little bit, right? We look at the Dow. The Dow has not been as pronounced of a drop. It's been there, don't get me wrong, but it's not been as big of a drop. We had, who was it announced today? AstraZeneca announced a new drug today, right? Hey, Robert, afternoon. AstraZeneca announced it. Yeah, Rick, right? It was AstraZeneca. So we're seeing more of it. And they had a 90% efficacy of, the value of the drug, good, bad, or indifferent, whether you are a virus drug person, COVID is fake, COVID is real, whatever your position is, all right? We're talking about market now. If you're the type of person that is stubborn and says, well, I refuse to make any money off COVID because COVID isn't real. I'm cool with that. As long as you're okay with not making money off of it. I don't have a problem making money off it. Oh, but it's someone else's misery. It's what's going on in the world, right? Your job is predicated on whether or not your boss needs you. Your boss needs you predicated based on, are they selling anything? If they're selling, they need you, they're going to pay you. And it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. You have a job. And for me, the job is trading, right? I don't care what's going on in the world. If there's a way for us to make money off of it legally on trading the markets, we should consider that, right? So Dow is backed off from where it was. S&P is certainly backed off a bit from where it had been. Let's go back. We're only up less than $1 now, 1 point. $ SPX.X. There we go. Right. So, oh yeah, we're rolling over, and we were down a little bit lower, right? Great opportunities in here. I'm just a little disappointed on my SPY this morning that I took my 2 lines, got out, walked away down at that 356.56 level, and watched it drop to where it is now, another $1. So there was another opportunity. Yeah, Jim, I trade off the technical. Well, I trade off the technical, but remember, news drives everything. If they came out now and said, that's it, right now, technically the chart is down on the S&P. But if the news came out and said, whatever it was, something good about COVID, it's cured. Nope, just put this drop on your tongue. It's just 2 different molecules of water we mix together. There's no potential of harm whatsoever. Done. It's all natural, right? Whatever it is. The market took off, even though the market, the picture showing a bearish picture, we're going to trade bullish. Right now, we'll trade bearish. By the way, you got a nice rollover coming off the SPY. Look for the negative 272, the blue line, as your first target there. SPY has been a good position today. So regardless of what you're trading, yeah, Brandon said the H pattern. That's it. And actually, is he in here? He's not. I saw an email come through today. I don't have it on this computer. Let me see. I'll yell it out. It's on the other computer. Oh, I know why. Because it's in my. This came from Mastermind Group, so it's in my text messaging. Those that are in our inner circle have my cell number. So. Yeah, it's pretty awesome that this was Amos sent me this message. Traded the H pattern bearish on SPY for 34% rate of return. Thanks for all the education from Rob and Amelia. Right? The picture that he sent me is the exact same picture. Let me see something here. Let me just make sure there's nothing. All right. So let's see. You guys able to see the cell phone? I can't tell because I don't have a view of what's going on. Yes, no? Are you guys able to see the picture on my phone? In the camera? Oh, I can see it in the camera. Never mind, I can. My bad. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know it's small. I mean, I can put it closer. I don't know if that'll help, but this was from Amos. This was a message I got from Amos today with that picture in it of the chart. He's got his fib lines drawn exactly where I have mine drawn. Beautiful thing. We took the exact same trade. Our entry might have been slightly different, give or take, but he's up 34%, took his 34% on that trade this morning. And it was fairly quick that H pattern rolled over there. So very nice. Very, very, very nice. Yeah. So Jim said H from the opened and or H from the last hour. You also had an H. There was another H in there, Jim. Where's the H? If I go ahead and get rid of this, where's the other H? How about here? Give me a second, Oscar. I will explain it to you. Great question. What's an H pattern? right? So if I get a, this blue, let's see. Yeah, let's get something a little bit lighter. A little hard to see that color. Let's go here, all right? Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. So if you look at this here, well, actually, let's do this. So Oscar, let me answer your question and identify this at the same time, right? If you look at a lowercase h, that's the H, right? Yes, not very pretty. Try drawing with a mouse, or actually just try having my handwriting, period. Right? What happens is in this picture right here, stock ran up, pulled down, and gave us that. So you're not going to find this perfect H in the market. If this was upside down, we were moving to start in a bearish pattern, your line would look like this. Something like that, some formation of that. So basically, Oscar, the H pattern comes in. Let me go ahead and clear this off. The H pattern comes in when a couple of things happen. First thing is, if we get rid of this one and put back the one I had on there, from here to here, right? We found a thrusting move, right? Bearish, it was coming down right in here, right? Great bearish move. And then it bounced. We look for a failure to take place somewhere around the 50 or the 618 is where we're looking for that failure to take place in the market. This one failed at the 50. That's where the true H comes in, is off of either the 50 or the 618, right? We look for then a two-line move. So in this case, 23.6% of the overall move is what we're looking for this to pull back to, right? To that position. Yeah, Amos said it worked awesome. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, for me too, Amos. It was a great trade. I got your text message. Amos is in the room now. I was sharing the picture you sent on the phone to myself just by showing it in the camera here. And I said, oh, wait, that's the same one I did, right? Because I had the same fibs drawn on mine. So phenomenal trade setup, right? I didn't carry it through, Amos. I pulled the trigger and took my two lines and got out. If you followed through on that, that was an excellent trade. But overall, Oscar, that's what we're looking at there, is the move down, the pull back up to the 50 percentile. And basically what we're doing is this. We're looking at this saying, okay, we're looking at this saying, we made this overall directional move down. We came back about halfway. That's really what it is, halfway to the 618. So one of those two lines, halfway, and we failed. Each fib line is the equivalent of one standard deviation move. So since 98% of all movement takes place statistically in the first two standard deviations, most of the time, that's all you're going to get out of the trade, and you're good to go. As it rolled over, Roman, once I saw, let me clear it off one more time. Once I saw that we topped out here, Roman, and we got up pretty close at this point, is where I took and we pulled back, is where I took the entry. And as I said, I wish I would have just held on and not taken my standard exits on the trade. Oscar, does that make sense overall as a big picture what this is? The more you come to these week after week, you'll learn more about this. Yes, cool, good. Right, so we have multiple H patterns. Again, you had the H from here to here, right? You've got the H that I've got drawn, right? Jim was saying we've got another one or another potential where to draw for the looking for the next H in here, right? And it's never a one size fits all. It's never a one-stop shop. It's all about identifying the right fibs for what's going on right now, right? So today is not necessarily indicative of holidays. So what you tend to see around the holiday, and you'll see this more at the end of the week probably, normally, COVID just messes everything up as far as the news coming out. But normally when we look at a holiday week, you get Thanksgiving as an example, we're looking at or Christmas or whatever it is, you're looking at the happy times, and markets tend to go up in those times. Now, bad news such as COVID doesn't necessarily make that possible all the time. But what you are going to see maybe lighter this year because people aren't trading. Aren't trading. People aren't traveling. There are a lot of people trading, a lot more than ever right now. People aren't traveling as much this year, so you're not going to see as many people going away. So you'll have more people trading. You'll have more people in Wall Street still. They're not taking their vacation. They're really not going anywhere. Planes are still not anywhere near what they were. They are expecting a good travel by car this year, but you're not going to see the same volume that we normally do. Volume is extremely light. Going into Wednesday, and then Friday's a half a day. Thursday we're closed, of course. Friday's a half a day. The market closes at 1. We'll have our phones, our office will be open until about noon-ish or so on Friday, and then we close our doors as well. But we follow market holidays as far as our calendar goes, as far as our office hours go. So for this week, we're looking at potentially lighter volume at the end of the week. So I would be a little cautious on any kind of swing trades that you're looking to jump into without having that volume backing it up. That's number one. Number two, you're talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're at almost 4 full days. I don't expect a lot of COVID announcements on Friday. Stock wants it, the company really wants its stock to move on the announcement. So I think they would wait until a Monday to make the announcement. But you're talking about 4 days in a row of no real volume and or trading going on. So be careful on a swing trade that you're carrying forward to next week, other than something that is short and deteriorating time. I'm okay with diagonals, covered calls. I would be careful about longs until you have a better understanding of the market coming back in after the holiday. No, Roman, I didn't wait for it to come under the moving average, right? So reason being was I was trying to take it off of the 50, right? So the moving averages, I'm taking it off of that 50. I'm not waiting because moving averages will not normally line up anyway when it comes to that. But had it not been a 50, a trade off of the 50, this where the moving averages converged and we broke here would have been another entry signal. And that one I would have held longer had I gotten in based on that instead of based on the H pattern. All right, Boz says you have to follow your program. And that's just it, Boz. And that's how it really works, right? Follow along with what we do, whether you're following here on a Monday for free, whether you're in some of the live trainings or the recorded trainings, the other things that we do, right? Myself, Brandon, Tony, there's a brand new coach that we're talking with right now who's supposed to be doing some stuff for us, hopefully in December, right? We'll let you know about that. Whoever it is that you're following. And by the way, that coach, I'm going since 1997. That coach is somebody that I've known from 1997. He was already a coach in 1997. So he's been doing this longer than I have. But we've got, between myself, Brandon, and Tony, and throw Amelia into the mix, between the four of us alone, not to mention some of the other people in the company, we have over 100 years of experience in the market. So there's a good amount of knowledge with what we do. So no matter what the program is that you're following, be consistent with it. So be here every Monday. If at all possible, you want to be here. PK said the latest part looks like a compression happening. Yeah, so it is, PK. So when we look at lunchtime, right? You're talking about what's going on in here. We're definitely pressing down, right? Let's bring that down a little bit. Ish, right? Just as an example, I'm not leaving it there, but yes, absolutely. Now we broke above the moving averages. The question is, are we going to hold or is this a here kitty kitty? Right? Moving averages tightened up a little bit. Look how wide they were here, right? Look how wide here. Look how wide here. Now look here. They've tightened up a little bit right now. So do they hold or not? Don't know. And PK, I saw your question before. Nope, Brenda, not that. I think it was your question. Oh yeah, why is your daughter not excited about vaccines? It's not that she's not excited about vaccines. My daughter, for those of you that don't know, is a registered nurse. She's an RN. It's not that she's not excited about vaccines. She's not excited about how fast this vaccine is coming out, right? The side effects, the long-term potential with it. And again, someone's in a hospital and emergency use, absolutely, they need to take it. Whether you choose to take it will totally be up to you. right? But she's not crazy about the way they're approving vaccines right now, about just rushing them through. She's a big fan of vaccines, but you're welcome. Steve, dude, how you doing, man? Good to see you, my friend. How's trading going? Yeah, I bet. Yeah, Brendan said, I don't blame her. It usually takes 3 to 5 years for full confirmation that it works. And I'm not saying the FDA is good the way they did it either, because I know other countries you could get drugs that were approved a lot quicker and worked, and were approved 2 or 3 years later here in the US. So I don't know how much of it is lobbying, how much of it is somebody's pockets getting lined. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's the whole medical issue with what we deal with in this country is screwed up. When you look at the, I'll give you an example. I watch a lot of Blue Bloods. I'm a big Blue Bloods fan, right? So I've got it on my DVR, and anytime in my office, if I'm not watching CNBC or I'm just sick and tired of listening to these guys, I'll put Blue Bloods on in the background while I'm trading. I'm not watching it. It's over my left shoulder here, but I'm listening to it. And every commercial is medical. Check out this drug. Joe Namath is making millions promoting all the medical plans that he's promoting out there, right? This drug, that drug, the next drug, right? We're one of the few countries that even allow drug commercials on TV, right? So I'm not saying that the way we do things here is right by any stretch of the imagination, but is it fast? Yeah, it's fast. Is it needed? Yeah, we can't go years before we get a drug for this. It can't happen. It's impossible. Oh, you're talking about Costco, Steve? No, I'm not following the dividend on it. What is it? Do they have a special dividend coming up? Oh, yes, they do. You're right. It is a once every couple of years, correct? They do a special large dollar dividend. Well, what I'm seeing here anyway is not right, but I heard something about that. Well, so how would I play it? You got to be careful, Steve, because if you're looking to try to play off of the dividend capture, remember, if they pay, I'll pick a number, 5. What are they paying, Steve? How much are they going to pay on dividend? I'll make a number up just for this conversation. Say it's $5, right? If they pay $5 in dividend, the price of the stock drops $5 after they pay it. $10 a share. Okay. So it's $10 a share. The price drops that $10. All right, Robert, I'll read that in a minute. The price drops $10. So you got to be really careful. It is still powerful news, but we just took $10 out of the value of the company. So it's because Costco's sitting on so much cash, they're giving it back to the shareholders. I'm not a dividend capturing guy. Let me rephrase that, Steve. I don't trade a lot off of that dividend being paid out on the expectation. You could try to strangle it if the earnings are, if the options are not too expensive. I just don't know if it's going to be enough of a move to make up for the cost of both sides. If I were trading it, I wouldn't trade it in advance. I would be trading it after it came out. And you're right, Steve, it shows here, and I would have to check it. This is not confirmed. But on the 10th, Steve said right afterwards, they're doing the earnings. So the dividend is coming out on the 1st, which is Monday, right? Tuesday of next week, Tuesday. And then the earnings are, according to here, are on the 10th. I would still want to confirm them. So it's great that they're going to pay it out, but $10, actually, let me start up the intraday. $10, let's see where we are right now. Once you get the new candle print. So 380.5. So we're looking at 370.5. So we're down here into neutral bias territory. All right. So, yeah, and I don't know. Rick said the article he's reading shows December 11th is when the payout is for this. Let me see. What did I miss? Yeah, Steve. So, Steve, tell me, what were your thoughts on playing it? I'd be cautious. For me, I'd be cautious, and I would wait till after. Yeah. So Robert says the thought with special dividends is that they return back to the special dividend level after a certain period of time. That, and you're right, Robert, because it is not a normal payout. It's special, means the company's doing well. They're paying out extra money. The question or the problem I have is I don't know how long that period of time is. Right, through a certain period of time. Is it 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years for that to gain back again? We may see it come back the same day. It may never react. There may be such an overvalue of the stock, it may just take off. Right. Okay. So Rick said paid out on the 11th, but shareholder of record on December 2nd. So you have to be on December 2nd before is when you have to be in there. Okay. So Steve said he's buying shares, 500 shares. 5K brought in following it. So that is covered calls, right? Bring back in $10 and writing the covered call for protection. Okay. All right. Excellent. Good deal. Guys, I know there's a lot of questions that I'm not seeing here. They're going by pretty fast as we're talking here about Costco. Let me see if I can go check. Yeah, we'll see how much gets fixed on the medical stuff, Robert. So Barry said it took 1.5 to 2 years for the 1918 Spanish flu to subside on its own without vaccines. Unfortunately, huge numbers of people died during it. Yeah, millions. It was over 1 million people, right? Okay. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. It's really the intraday component of it for me, Steve. I'll be looking at it when after the dividend affects the stock price and looking to see if I can get an intraday move, but I'm not doing anything on it. Can we well, let's do this. Let me go back here first. Let's just put Costco in right away. I don't normally do diagonals on stocks over 200 just because of cost, but I've got to go out at least 120 days. Right? So let's go 144 days, April. 67 delta, 35 by 3605. Okay, so we got a dollar difference in there. It has a fair value, a theoretical value of 31.5. Right? The volatility is 26.76. Historical is 20. So it's not too much overvalued out here in April. Let's see what's going on with the front ones. But it is an expensive option. You're looking at $35 per share at a 68 delta, and we could write, today is Monday, we could write the 385s against it for $1.49. So let's call it $1.50. So the 385s are $1.50. Right? And what we're buying, what position we're selling here, or buying here rather, sorry. The 360s. 360s are at, we'll call it 35, just to make it easy number. Well, 35.5. Right? So that means we're spending $34 to take this trade on here. A little bit on the high side when it comes to the options pricing. But if you get into this at $34, what's our difference in there? Our difference between the 360 and the 385 is $25. You're getting a $10 special payout, which puts you at another $10. So if they took the stock away from you, you would make $1. So if you went ahead and here, let me set it up. All right, we're in, let's see. I'm going to sell this. we're going to buy this. All right. So 34.5 is the natural. You can get in it at $34, right? If you did this at $34, what are you looking at the difference? See, here's your strike prices, $16.85. That's where my $25 came from. You would spend 34. If you were exercised under normal circumstances, you would be underwater by 25 from 34. You'd be underwater $9. But they're going to pay you $10 as a special dividend. So there's $1 on top of that if you were exercised. It doesn't, no downside protection there other than you sold for $1.50. And of course, if you still have the position, next week is again and again and again and again. But on options, you don't get dividends. Oh, so you can't get the dividend on it. Someone won't help you with the option trade. Only if you own the equity. Let's see. Will said the depressed economy will more deadly than the COVID virus itself. There's an expectation of 130 million people starving during the economic downturn. Yeah, I mean, I know here, like my father-in-law is homebound. He can't move anywhere. He's stuck. He can't get up out of bed without help, right? He's got an aide that helps. My mother-in-law takes care of him. She's a mess. They get food delivered to the house. It's free. So I know in New York there are programs out there. All right. So Steve said he's selling the January covered call, bringing in $4 more protection. Excellent. Let's see. Robert said, don't forget that the special dividends, they adjust the options strike price or deliverables, especially with a $10 special dividend. Yeah, so there's going to be some games with it. Nice, Steve. Very nice. Good deal there. All right. So how'd you guys do today? Give me some trades. What'd you do? Talk to me. We got a ton of you in here. Let's see. So Jim said, are holiday trading days normally lighter, Thanksgiving, Christmas? I would think so. Do the technicals act normal? So here's the thing let me try to take it through this way, Jim. Yes, you do see lighter volume normally around the holidays, right? And especially the bigger ones, the Christmases and the Thanksgiving holidays, right? When the markets are closed. But what tends to happen is volume tends to drop. In December, you tend to normally have a Santa Claus rally. Depending on the state of the country with the presidential election, that may or may not happen this year, right? If we don't start getting some stuff either A, handed back to Trump that says, okay, yes, you're right, you won, or transitioned over to Biden, we may have some issues with timing, right? And I know that Biden already put out a tweet asking for money to help because Trump's team is not supporting them and not helping them. The transition is harder than they thought, so they need more money. It didn't go well with the tweets I read, by the way, of people replying back to it. But you are going to see, without a doubt, Jim, you see lighter volume taking place. Friday, here's what happens. Friday morning, the boss comes in, right, to the market maker firm, and he checks in and says, okay, it's 9 o'clock, 9:30, the market opens. By 10 o'clock, they're out the door, right? Who's left? Right? The junior traders who are trying to make a name for themselves. So are they playing games, finagling, doing this, doing that, raising volatility, opening spreads, trying to make some cash so that Monday morning they go to the boss, hey, look what I did this. When you left, look at me. Look how well I did. You got a lot of amateurs still in there in that time. So I will give you a great example of it, Jim. On the Friday after Thanksgiving, I will not be doing any trading. Normally, the last 2 weeks of the year, I do very little, if any, trading. It's more boredom trading than anything else. I need something to do. Family's out running around doing something, usually shopping, stores, all that good stuff. I'm good. I don't need stores. I'm not a person to go out and shop. Right? Tell me what you want. I go to the store, pick it up. That's good. Shop, let me look for hours. Can't do it. Then I'll trade. Otherwise, those last 2 weeks of the year, I tend to not do a whole lot of trading at all. Right. So Let's see. All right. So Deborah said XPEV. How's it going, Deborah, with XPEV? You're welcome, Jim. Good. Savage said, don't take any futures trade yet. No real entries. I'm sorry. Didn't. I thought you were saying don't take anything. My bad. I read the wrong word. Didn't take any futures trades yet. No real entries I could see. Looking forward to the think tank tonight for some ideas. Yeah, Brandon does a great job. I love the trading plan he puts together to kind of set you guys up right up front and says, here, this is what we're going to be looking for today. Steve said MCK is distributing the COVID drugs. All right. So how did MCK do today, Steve? All right. A little bit of a pop. They're in a bullish neutral bias. They had a great run, right? So Oscar here, we would draw a Fibonacci off of that bottom right there up to that top right there. All right, that's where we had a V top in there. We had a thrusting pattern and a failure. We pulled back to the 236, which is hesitation. That is 23.6% of the overall move is where we pulled back to. We popped and then have failed. So it's been a good run. I mean, we went from 140 up to 180, right? 186. So great run, great move. I would love to see us get back above the 175 half level, and the 8 moving average to start to come in line there would give me a stronger confluence of taking the entry on that trade. Yeah, I think that's going to be the case with a lot of people, Boz. From what I read, people weren't willing to contribute towards that. They said some of the comments were the wealthiest country in the world, and you're asking us to pay for your transition. Yeah, the election is over, but it's not over, Brenda. the argument over who the president is still going on. Good. I'm glad you got some good notes there, Jim. Deborah said it's going good. That was on XPEV. It's an open trade right now. Double the small call option play. It's a Chinese company. Okay. Amos said SPY practice trade bought to open the $157 per contract, sold it in 10 minutes at $210 per contract, 34%. Nice. So 53 cents. Yeah, 53 cents, right? Yeah, 53 cents. Good job. I love 50-cent trades. Yeah. Is Home Depot potentially setting up for a day trade with a pullback to the 382 right now? All right, let's go take a look, Bill. So, Bill, you talking about the 382 on the intraday or the one we look at in pop here, the 271.35 daily and pop. Okay, so let me write it down. 271.35 on the depot, right? The overall, those of you that were in E-mini when I was teaching it, you'll recognize a pattern, right? We have a box of neutrality, right? But we've got that hesitation type pattern setting itself up in there, all right? We're down below the moving averages. We are in a true bear. As of today, we're in true bear. So I wouldn't be looking for anything bullish. I sure would love the 8 moving average, which is 272.70, but I'd love the 8 to be a little bit closer, Bill. But let's go take a look at Home Depot intraday. So we've got 271.35 is here already. And we could put in the 272.70, which is about $1.35, 272. Yeah, we're way up here. It's not going to help us any. It's way up here. All right, I'm just going to get rid of that. So as we broke through today, Bill, right? That breakthrough, retest, and fail was definitely an opportunity. Right now, we're sitting in lunch, right? So I would love to see us get back up to that 271.35 level, but not yet. Not until we get a little bit closer to it on a closing basis. Yeah, and I'm a big fan. You know, you get this small close below the retest on a close and a fail. Big fan of that, right? Break, oh, break, bounce, fail. We haven't, or even kiss. Again, we haven't even had that where we've kissed it here yet and pulled back. So it's close, Bill, but I'm definitely I would watch the 271.35. My pop. I already put my tracking sheet away. I've got it open on the computer here, but on Home Depot, yeah, we just had it down as a day trade. And we had that 271 level as a key level. So, yes, Bill. And Will said there's a pivot point at 270.35. Good to know, Will. Thank you for that. Yeah, kind of traps you. Exactly. So, let's see. Home Depot looks like it might be in a channel, might be at the bottom now. So this little bit of a, well, if we're looking at the daily chart right here, it's more of a compression pattern, right? It's more of that compression where we're squeezing down inside of there. We're waiting for the breakout, right? We call it a pressure cooker, right? It's building up pressure right now. It's going to break. Up or down? Yes. Up or down, without a doubt. Yep, it's a rectangle, Brenda, but that's narrow. It's very narrow based, but yes, it is. That's where we came up with pressure cooker. We needed at least 5 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do it on an intraday basis, not a daily basis, right? And we look for a breakout. So here we've had more trending type stuff, bigger channel in there than just regular pressure cooker, but not bad. Not bad, but we're still looking for that break up to that 271.35 level and the fail to take that bearish trade. Cool. Very good. Very, very good. Jim said Home Depot daily, go back to August. All right. So August. Well, if you're looking at the 50, if that's what you mean, Jim, the 265.41, without a doubt, that's where I see it having the potential to go. Let's see. We're looking at 1343 as our Fibit, which is 2 times the Wilder's average true range, 59.65 or 6. Yeah, we're good. We've got plenty of room to move down in here. Plenty of room. Yeah, so in a channel, but a bigger channel. Okay, now I see where you were getting at, Jim, up in here. Yes, absolutely. It's a fib channel. It's just crossing multiple lines. All right, give me the symbols you want me to take a look at, folks. Drop them in. Holy mackerel. Let's see. Trip. Oh my God, Trip, what's going on? Where are your symbols? Only one of those look familiar to me. Disney. All right. So Disney, I said, I did this in a video the other day talking about COVID stocks, COVID recovery stocks. Disney has a major advantage that they rebuilt their business with Disney Plus. Disney Plus is at 73.4 million subscribers, whatever, 10, 15 bucks a month. It adds up. They've had it, but not to the level they do now. They're expecting even when COVID goes away, you'll see some pullback in there, but not what they gained at all. So with that being said, I love the bounce that's coming off of the Fibit there, Trip, which is the 882, right? Fib is gone at this point, right? We need to redraw. This is a little small, but well, actually, no, it's okay. This works. Let's go here. Yeah, we're still good. Oh yeah, that's really good. $4 line in there. All right, so let's bring this in. Right. I love the confluence at the 140 level, right? A pullback and a bounce. We were there. Today we had a gap up, but we were there on Friday, right? So I like it. I like it. Disney, Nike. Got to start watching for earnings. I'm seeing a lot of companies popping up all of a sudden. So on Nike, pull back to the 130.76 trip. Let me make this a little bit wider. We're at $6.31. Yeah, we need a fib it inside of here, Trip. So all a fib it is a splitting of the lines. All right, so we're there now, Trip. I'd be careful. Again, look for the pullback as the entry. And then the only one I recognize from your Trip is AMD. All right, so AMD, we're up near the zero. Trip, you tell me, what do you see? What do you notice on AMD? Actually, any of you, what do you notice on AMD? Yeah, pop 5K stocks from Trip, exactly. What do you notice on it? Pattern-wise, what do you see? Bumping its head on the zero. Zero line breakout. There you go, Amos. I love hearing that. Zero line is resistance. That's what I'm looking for, Trip. Just because we have Fibonacci, that doesn't mean other patterns don't matter. I wanted to stretch it out so I could edit this and get rid of any extensions. But we have this topping pattern at 87.29, right? Where we keep running into. Bumping our head on ugly is my phraseology for it. And our bottoms are getting higher. So if we continue to make this press and actually I'm going to show you something, but I'm not going to explain it. Those of you that have seen me do this before, you know exactly what I'm doing. All right. We need that wedge breakout needs to happen in between these two lines. So by the 25th, which is Wednesday, on a closing basis, we need to break out of that or the wedge is kind of gone. All right. And if we get the breakout, Trip, I definitely would be looking for the zero line breakout, if at all possible. Breakout of 87 up to 92. All right. Some of y'all are like, wait, why are you asking me questions? You're the one teaching us. Excuse me. All right. Hope that helped, Trip. Robert asked for plug. I got a phone call last week from a friend of ours that we haven't seen them in or talked with them in at least 10 years. And I get a call out of absolutely nowhere. And he bought plug at about $3 and forgot all about it. And now is freaking out that he sees it's up to $24, which was the other day when we talked. And he wanted to know what to do, right? So capital goods, electronic companies, you could see some of the other companies that are in the same subsector as them, right? And so forth. So what's going on here? We broke above the 618. It doesn't look like it's got a stopping point, Robert. It's just, I mean, with where you're in it, I know you've had it for a while. With where you're in it, you know, are you writing calls on it at this point? And may not even be feasible depending on how much you're getting for them. But let's see, plug or can get for them. Let's see. Oh, not big spreads either. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're talking about, wow, $27 call at 43 cents. That's nice. That's very nice. 100 shares, 43 bucks. But the moves can blow through it. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking, Robert. With the way it's going, it's kind of tough. So I like it. Your next stopping point or hesitation is 27.12. All right, guys, I'm gonna try to go back and catch some by Nike again. Let's see. Try to remember some of the symbols that you had in there. You know, we've got this move in here, Trip. We've got this move in here. Could we redraw? Probably not a bad idea to do so. I don't think they're going to be very big fibs no matter what we do in there. So if we grab the fibs here, but good catch. I mean, we broke the 618 on a closing basis in the last couple of days. So we're there. 23 to 25 and a half. Right. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yep. Perfect. The vertical orange is normally, Patricia, that is normally the last power option plays update I did. And I also have a yellow one on that shows me when the earnings have to be after. Right now, this is not the last, the orange one is not the last power option plays update I did. I moved that this morning because I do a video every Monday of our pop results from last week of where we're at. So I put that on just to show where the week started for people to see it. But that's normally when we're trading in power option plays and we pull up a tracking sheet, and I'll share an older one. Let's see. Let me just find it. Okay. So as an example, when we talk about, bullish with the pullback to the 8, a lot of earnings going on here. So let me see if I can get something a little further back than that. But so as we pull up our tracking sheet of what we're looking for, we can easily then see where the last update we had, and we can watch and track what's going on with our entries. Good, Trip. I'm glad. Steve said Costco is running now. Buy it. First 100 on the pullback here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Costco's been a great store, a great stock. It is a great store. I'm in there all the time. For one of our businesses, we've got a corporate account with them there. All right. You're welcome, Patricia. All right, let me try to go back and see. So we had NEO was one stock. We're probably not going to get through all of them, guys. There are a lot of you in here today. Let's see. We definitely want to put a fib on NEO. And that would be it. Right in there. 3 to 5, we're good. The fib is good. So it looks like 57.5 is your next upside target. Who was that? Keith. Next upside target is 57.5. And you can see look where it opened. It opened right at the fib line. We'll see where it closes today, but it opened right up at a fib line, right? And that's our next one is 57.5 from 53.70. So about $1. Trader Will's asking for MNST. All right, so you can forget about the moving averages on there. It's a channel, right? But you want to be careful if we're taking off in a bullish pattern of trading that downside in there. We've been stuck here for a couple of days, right? If we continue to break down, 80.81 is your first downside target. I don't use moving averages for targets on channeling positions. Tesla. That was one of our trades that we took on last week. Tesla had a great breakout today, right in our blue zone. Right? If you don't know what a blue zone is, go read the China study, the book. It's not a trading book, a China study. Blue zone is zones around the world where people live that are very healthy, right? And the reasons why. Well, this is a health zone, 500 to 502.49. It's an area of strength. We pushed up. We had a little fail. We took a nice gap up this morning, a retest and a bounce, because it pulled back into that blue box, that rectangle, and it bounced. It looks like 533.70. Just show a bigger picture. 533.70 is our target right up in here. GIS. So big channel, but this one has been failing lately, meaning staying in the bottom portion of its channel, even to the point that it's broken twice with lower lows in there, right? If we get the continuation failure, 59.33 and 57.21 are my two downsides on that. Moderna, MDRN. Nope, is that it? S MDRN. Nope, there's no MDRN, Brenda. Sorry, I thought it was Moderna. QQQ. Hughes, 297.5 is the upside, and 287.5, Brenda, is the downside, which is the 21 moving average. Yeah, it's not Monday without the trip trio. Exactly. Let's see. Rick is asking for ZLB. Is that on futures, Rick? What is ZLB? RZLB. Futures, aren't they? Yeah, I'm just not finding those symbols. Paula asked for CSTM. CSTM. Oof. So nice gap up today. Just, I don't know. For me, when I look at this chart, it hurts my head. Right? The black candles are very big, bunch of little gaps going on in there, very long wicks all over the place. It's painful to look at to me. So, and what I mean by that is that's my analysis of, I want to draw Fibonacci's, but I don't have a good place to draw them because I've got too much going on in here. I don't have a good answer for you on it. Let's see. Well, let's see. We got to go back a ways, but no, we violated it. We've already violated this fib. Yeah, we broke through the 882, which would be right here. I got nothing for you. That $13 is going to be a resistance, though. Bill said, is PANW possibly setting up for an inverted zero line breakout? Let's take a look. So last week in Monster Market Movers, I went over what I called an inverted zero line breakout trade. And then I taught it extensively, 2 hours of it on Inner Circle last week. No, Bill. Remember, on an inverted zero line breakout, and we're going to leave it at this. Zero line breakout is where we break out of here, retest, and bounce. So we need that to at least give us the attempt at a zero line breakout before we can have an inverted zero line breakout. Right? So no, it is not setting up for it, Bill. Does that make sense? All right. So Rick's asking, zero line breakout from before the zero line breakout and the reverse zero line breakout was referring to, oh, okay. Got it. Yes, it does. Cool. All right. All right, folks, we are there. All right. Amy, can you do me a favor, please? Can you drop a link in for Key to Be Free? Guys, we're doing 2 trainings. It's an hour, hour and a half out of your day, out of that week, because it's both the same week. It's Tuesday and Thursday, I think it is. Tuesday morning, Tuesday at noon, and Thursday is at 8 p.m. It is an hour and jingle out of your life, out of your time, to learn some of the secrets, the strategies that we're using now, and some of the things that you're hearing talked about in here that you're like, wait, where'd this inverted zero line breakout thing come from? That's what mastermind groups and monster market movers and so forth, right? Advanced techniques and strategies that we use. But I wanted to share some things with you in Key to Be Free to help you in 2021 to get there. And I will do everything in my power to help you if you will take the steps that are necessary to get there. If I'm the type of person, I've heard, if you've seen me teach live in person, 2-day events, you've heard me say this. If you reach out your hand for help, I'll grab your whole arm. I'll grab your whole arm, but you got to do it. You got to reach out. I'll help you. I'll help you get there, but you have to take that first step. So go ahead and register for the free training that's out there. Amy dropped it in. There it is. So no difference between the two of them, Will. They're exactly the same training. So just worry about registering for whatever one works best for your schedule. Yes, Robert, you as well. Everyone, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, right? Be safe. It's about family. Do the best you can and still maintain some safety there. God bless. And remember, folks, you're just one trade away. Have a great day, and I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you soon. Bye.